come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. They'll run. Here's the former Seminole. And that to the 30. It'll be second down. You look at this Packers defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Here's Murray. And he's got his man on the out route. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion.
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down. You look at this Packers defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Those defense for the Packers, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they've
intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
There he goes up the right sideline. Off to the races. And down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 61 yards that time on the ground. And I don't want to harp on it, but this defense among the bottom in the league against the run, and they show it right there.
And it doesn't matter when you get prepared for this defense, whether you're good running the ball or not.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Packers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Jordan Love ready on 1st down here. Eluding the pressure right. That's to Kraft, the tight end. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Now a 2nd and 2. Love. That's to the tight end, Musgrave. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Again, it's Love. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And the Packers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right. With his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember, last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Murray off play action. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers will take over possession here up at the 44. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. He's got room at the 30, and he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first. Jacobs going to try the middle, and only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 9. Love, he's going to change the play here. On play action, they'll throw. Able to find his man, Kraft. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Here's Jacobs. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Play fake. Here's Love. That's complete to Dobbs. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
And when you run a drag route like this down near the goal line, you're hoping maybe you get an inadvertent pick to set your man free. A lot of people are calling them natural screens, but this was well defense, and they stopped him for just a short gain.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs. Touchdown! Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to add on to their first half lead. And this is no good. Boy, that didn't even get there. Not a good effort at all. And our score remains the same. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. First carry for James Conner. And this is going to be a Cardinals first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. Murray now on first down. Finds his running back, James Conner. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. To throw is Murray. And my goodness, another interception. And the Packers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. 2nd down, Jacobs once more. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 79 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Flush to his right. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This one fielded in the end zone. He'll opt not to bring it out. A touchback, and they'll begin at the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful...
There he goes right side. Now he's into the clear again. Inside the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Josh Jacobs, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Throwing on first down is Murray. Open man here is Benson. And he's going to be up around the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Throwing now is Murray. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And 22 more yards there and another first down.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Murray. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range. Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. And now here is another interception. And the Packers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Boy, 179 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game. but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. Third quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. Throwing. Love. Wide open receiver, complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First target, first catch, and a first down. He's able to find Melton. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here. And now off to the races down the right side. What a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Love looking to throw it. He has it complete to Christian Watson. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. On 2nd down, Jacobs. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Here's Love. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Buda Baker with a pick. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Extra point good by Prater as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Off the play fake, Love. The short throw to Musgrave. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. On play action. Love to throw. They'll roll him out right. And that is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. Love, they go play action now. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
223 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. And now Love going to change things up. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
They will run the draw with Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got to